Ben Simmons has been a triple-double machine in his 1+ years in the NBA. In fact, he has the second most triple-doubles in his first 2 seasons all time, behind only Oscar and better than Magic. How about that? After Sunday's win against the Clippers, Ben joined Chris Miles et al. On Arena Link.
Ben, before the season, you said that you wanted to make sure you mastered your scoring around the rim, that you weren't going to attempt three-point shots until you did that. Well, you still haven't taken one this season, shooting 62% from the floor in the month of December. What is the number you're looking for before you start taking those three-point shots?
I think just getting comfortable with my game and evolving over time. And it starts, day by day. It's not something that I'm just going to jump into and start doing. I'm going to get there over time. I've been working every day, working hard and getting everything right and trying to get better and just trying to lead this team.
Joel Embiid has talked about how soccer contributed to his ability to move as a big man in this league and move well. Obviously, at your size, your ability 6'10", handle the ball, see the floor, move up and down the court like a guard. What do you think contributed to your ability to be able to do that?
I have no idea. I think maybe playing Australian football, I have no idea. I think just as a kid, my dad used to tell me to dribble the ball. And being a 6'10", point guard, point forward, whatever you call it, has its advantages, as you can see. But, I've always been comfortable doing that ever since I was a kid.
Hey, Ben, first, I want to congratulate you and commend you on the fact that you didn't allow the game to pressure you to try to do things that you don't do well at this stage. And you understood who you are as a player. And right now, your best way to impact the game is by dominating the paint. So, but knowing that, did you feel any pressure when you came into the league that maybe you had to think about trying to add that to your repertoire? Or were you always comfortable in knowing, you know what, I'll get to that at some point. Let me establish who I am, my identity as a player now, and worry about that later?
For me, it was kind of tough towards the end of the season. I'd hear all these things about shooting the ball, things like that. But for me, I took a step back and looked at, what I was averaging, how our team went, how my first season went. And I think we went very well. I think my season that I played was pretty, if you look at the accolades and stats that I had as an individual player, they were great. And I know I'm going to get to that level. It takes a lot of time, work, dedication, all of that. But for me, I think it's just playing the game, having fun, and trying to evolve and not worrying about the outside noise.
And we have footage of you. I know you work on the three-point shot, and you're going to continue to put the time in there. But again, to your point, most young players, they tend to focus on their weakness and play to their weakness. You were unique in that regard, in my estimation, by coming in and understanding why you were the first pick. They didn't draft you to shoot threes. You weren't the first pick because of that. You were the first pick because of all those other attributes that your game has displayed over this year and a half that you've been playing the game. So from a coaching standpoint, your coaching staff, do they talk to you about that aspect of it, or do they want you to continue to be who you are and grow in that area? Because you can still improve, even though you've got gaudy numbers, there's still a lot of areas that you can improve in that I'm sure you realize what happened to you guys in the postseason last year.
100%. I think it comes down to just time. This is my second year playing. So for me, I'm not, forcing anything. It's going to happen over time. I'm going to continue to get better. Coaches do want me to take more shots. And I think, that's one of the things that I've always looked at as, I don't want to be the selfish guy on my team, but I understand, if it's going to help the team get better, then I'm willing to do that. And yeah, I think, the way our team plays is we love to share the ball and make the right plays, and I'm always, that guy who wants to make the right play.
Great stuff right there with Ben Simmons. Okay, he just said the coaches say they want him to shoot more. Is that a good idea?
Yeah, shoot your shot. I mean, because people are so caught up in his shot being the way it is, that I think he finally answered the question. Let him do it in his time. All of a sudden, we're supposed to put him in the gym, Sekou, over one summer, he's supposed to come back.
Paradise.
Yes, but it doesn't happen over in one summer, though. I need more than one summer to get him in Shooter's Paradise to fix that shot. and having fun with it, I've already talked to Ben about this. So what Ben is like so funny, you know how you and I are Magic Johnson fans to the...
Favorite of all time.
All time, right? There was a quote, you might remember this quote. When I was in college, I said, if Magic Johnson had my jump shot, he'd be unstoppable, right? It was a quote that went viral, and Magic and I always talked about it. And then as the year went on, Magic's push shot went from a shot put At the end of his career, he started making threes, and then all of a sudden we stopped talking about his shot. That's kind of what I've been telling Ben. Do what you do best, keep dominating, and on your days off, continue to work on your shot. It doesn't have to be fixed overnight. It needs to be fixed gradually. Jason Kidd. Another shot put. That shot would go, phew. J. Kidd, get that ball up a little bit. 18 years later, he's top 5 in most threes made in the NBA. So, Ben, you finally answered the question. You've answered the question with confidence now, and not like, oh, my God, they're going to answer another shooting question. No, answer the question, tell them what it is, and tell them you have a plan on how to fix it. Love the way you answered the interview.
Yeah, look, I think we get too deep in the weeds with these young point guards. I saw us do this, and when I say us, I mean the collective media that covers this league. Did we not dissect Russell Westbrook's game to the nth degree early in his career? About
People said it was a bad pick at the time.
Exactly, whether or not he was a real point guard, as if there was some, mold that you have to fit into in today's game. This is another one of those instances where if we spend too much time worrying about what Ben Simmons doesn't do, you overlook and miss the qualities that he does bring. He is a jumbo version of a young Russell Westbrook, if you ask me.
Good call.
And spending all your time worrying about his shot is just it's wasted time when you're talking about a guy who can affect the game in so many other ways. The defense is going to play him to his weaknesses anyway.
Right.
So they're going to force him to improve. The game will force you to improve that shot, even if you don't put in the kind of work that a Shooter's Paradise member might. Yeah. He's going to get better at it because the game will dictate it. The smart thing for Brett Brown to do, and I think for the Philadelphia 76ers to do, stop trying to fix an issue that will fix itself organically. Let his game evolve.
Are they using him the right way? Are you happy with the usage rate? Are you happy with spots on the floor? Are they using Ben Simmons appropriately?
Right now, today, for the regular season, yes. How are you going to use him in the playoffs when it really counts? And I think that's what we saw last year in the playoffs, because now we're able to break down possession by possession, and now it's hard to hide people. Now can you put Ben in a better situation because he needs to be on the floor? I go back to what Doc Rivers did with Rondo. Rondo didn't shoot any threes, did he? And Rondo still dominated in the finals, didn't he? So that's what Brett Brown has to figure out. How do I use Ben in other ways so he can still be successful? Because other guys have not been great shooters, have been successful in the finals.
This is one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time. You may have heard. The scoreboard for Ben Simmons right now reads 0 of 11 for his career from downtown. Has not attempted a three-point shot this year.
That's all. Now, see, for me, that's more here.
Just giving you the stats.
No, and I love that stat we talked about the other night, Sekou. That's more here than virtually actually being able to shoot, because now it's in your head so much, you won't even take the shot. Well, I use Rondo as another example. Rondo would still shoot the basketball because certain times in the game, you have to take that shot because that's the best shot for the possession.
You know what's funny? I'm going to look at this from a completely different perspective. I appreciate the discipline that Ben Simmons has not to rush into taking those shots. Could you imagine how we'd be barbecuing him if he was shooting a horrible percentage and hadn't taken a bunch of threes? Exactly. Yes. He understands where his game is right now, and I think we sometimes assume that these players happen overnight. Look down the list of players and how their games have developed over the years. Great players take time to, smooth out the rough edges. You're in no rush, Ben Simmons. You got J.J. Redick on your roster. If you want to see somebody take a three, make sure somebody sets a screen and gets J.J. Redick free for a three. But you keep working. You watch his workout regimen before games. You know he's doing it, on off days and in the off season. He's going to work at his game and become a much better shooter, whether it's beyond a three-point line or not. What you do is you don't interrupt the flow of a transcendent physical talent like this, trying to make him something he's not ready to be. You allow Ben Simmons to work on that game. You allow the Sixers to plot a course for him and to make it work for them as well as working for Ben Simmons.
The only thing I would add to that, Rick, I remember seeing Coach Bud in Summer League in Vegas. And we know how much we fell in love with Bud Ball here in Atlanta, right? He goes, Milwaukee's going to shoot more threes than ever in Milwaukee history. We all like, what the heck is Bud thinking about? And I said, what about Giannis? Giannis is not shooting that many threes. What is Giannis doing? He is dominating the paint, living at the free throw line, and every so often he'll get a wide open three where he looks at the ball, he lines up the laces, looks at his feet, and then he shoots and he leaves it. But he's not coming down hunting for threes because, Giannis, you got to shoot threes. No, I'm going to dominate the paint. Well, that's the difference. It's like, you know what you do best, and let us talk about what you can't do.
Well, the guy that we're about to talk about does hunt threes, and he's very, very good at it. And over the last 9 games, DZ's guy Devin Booker has been playing.
Now, hold on. He's been on Shooter's Paradise. Yeah, Devin Booker's been on Shooter's Paradise. He's been there, yeah.
And took notes.
He's been there. We're shooting it, yeah. We had a ball on that one.
So Devin Booker right now is not playing at an all-star level. He's playing at an all-NBA level. When you consider 28 PPG, 8 dimes, and shooting almost 47% from the field. And, hey, the Suns are kind of sort of winning, Sekou, at 4 and 5 over those last 9 games. Are the numbers simply a product of him being healthy, or is there more going on here?
Yeah, I'm going to blame it a little bit on the water in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Devin Booker and, of course, my collective hometown.
That's right.
You know what this is about? This is about the rest of those guys in Phoenix finally coming around to what we've all known for the last couple of years. Devin Booker is a franchise guy. When you can score the basketball the way he can in this league, you have to build a system that works for him. A supporting unit around him that takes away not from what he does best, but that's, supplements some of the other things, the other parts of his game that need to improve. The one thing we know he doesn't need is to worry about that shot.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on the next level when it comes to shooting in this game. And for me, these numbers, Rick, are really about the rest of those guys on that roster understanding what they have in Devin Booker and playing into that collective strength that they have with him as the catalyst.
The only thing that worries me, Rick, I hope Phoenix doesn't mess this up because they finally got it right. They got a quality person. I'm going to say it again. They got a quality person, and they got a quality player, and he puts in the work. Now, can the big fella kind of follow his leadership? You got Warren. Are you going to keep him? We know he's a bucket getter. Now it's all about now you
got some good quality pieces.
Now you're bringing Oubre. So now you're bringing in some pieces that complement what Devin brings to the table. And Sekou hit around here. That water in Grand Rapids, Michigan must be good because he's healthy. He's healthy this year, and that's why he's playing another level. Because I was a little concerned at first. Does he have James Harden type legs? Because when they gave him the ball, I said, "Whoa, that's a lot of leg work." And now healthy, he's proven he can do it.
So Joel Embiid is questionable tonight and may not go. Played last night, played well. Second of a back-to-back, they may hold him out. That may be big stats for DeAndre Ayton, who in December went 17.6 points and 11.8 rebounds. So keep an eye on that. That ball game, 9 o'clock from Phoenix. Let's give you an update.